Hey YouTube, welcome to the next episode, and this one's going to be a good one. It's all about my pet peeves. Now, I have about 10 pet peeves, and they're not in any particular order, but these are some things that just really get under my skin, that like agitate and annoy me going on at this ripe age of 45 years old. So remember, this channel is from my perspective as a black middle class American. I'm also 45 years old. I am a parent, so you can just take in all of the experiences and the adventures I've had, and this is what I've come up with. Okay, so these pet peeves are not in any particular order, but I'm just gonna talk you through them, and I'm laughing because these are silly. This is a part of my personality that my friends get. This has also been a running joke for about a decade now, or I come and update my pet peeves because it's just those little things that irk you. So let's start off. Like I said, no particular order, but there's some that are more higher on the list than others, of course. So here's one in no particular order: fast cars that go slow. And this literally just happened to me this past week. I'm leaving work. This person is driving a Porsche. We're on some residential streets, and this car is in front of me driving insanely slow. When I think what the speed limit's like, what, 35, maybe 40, they're going at least 10 miles underneath, and I'm trying to get around them. So fast cars that go slow. So if you have a Porsche, or if you have a speed racer or a Corvette or a McLaren, and you're doing way under the speed limit, I have a problem with that, especially if we're on the freeway. Now, another pet peeve of mine, this could be in the top three, it's pets in public spaces. I know. Just think about it. And I'm not talking about those service animals, certified service animals. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about regular pets in public places. And I've seen this quite a bit. It's really unsanitary. It's really unnecessary. Don't you remember the days when people used to leave their pets at home? I don't want to see pets in the grocery store. I don't want to see pets at a restaurant. I don't want to see pets at the movies. Keep your pets at home. Like literally yesterday, going to a big box grocery store, there's a lady holding her mini dog, and then her husband is pushing the cart inside the grocery store. Why do you need to bring your dog to the grocery store? And this is not a service animal. I preface that. I'm not. I don't care. Service animals are fine. They serve its purpose. They have a job. They're working. These other pets, no, they're not working. So that's up there in the top three for sure. I'm tired of seeing it. Here's another example where it's just really out of control. I was at the bank getting ready to deposit some money, and this lady comes in with two dogs. One is a Great Dane. The dog is huge. The dog is almost as big as her. And then she had this little scrawny looking dog. And as soon as she walked in, I like scanned the room of the people that were waiting in line. And there were people uneasy. That Great Dane was large, humongous. And she was like wrestling with the dog, got the grip. And I'm thinking in my head, if this dog goes crazy, there's no way she's going to be able to control that dog. So, once again, why do you need to bring your pets into public places? You're scaring people. Like, I was a little afraid. I'm not scared of dogs, but dogs sometimes could go rogue, and then you have to worry about how strong the owners are to be able to mitigate any situation that may come up. Um, so pets in public places is not also it's not very safe in certain instances. Here's another one, and I'm laughing because these may seem really idiotic to you, but to me, it's like something's got to be done about it. But this next one is when people never park their car in their garages. Like, not everybody grows up with garages. I get that. I've grown up in the inner city. Was fortunate enough to have and grown up with carports in a couple of places where we lived when I was a kid, where we actually had a garage. As an adult, I've paid access to have a garage so I can park my car in there, in certain parts of the city where I'm from. And then as a homeowner, I make sure that, I park my car in the garage. But my thing is, these people with all this stuff in their garage, they never park their cars in there. That's what it's for. Most of my neighbors in a couple of places that I've lived, they have so much stuff up until the garage door that they can't even fit a car in there. And that's terrible. Like, that's overconsumption. My garage now, I can fit a car in there. It's got a bunch of kid stuff and toys and just storage things. But I envy my next door neighbors. They can get two cars in their garage, and their garage is so, like, I need to go tell my neighbor how amazing his garage looks. Everything is neat, put in its place, the ground is clear, and they can fit two cars. They have a truck and an SUV that fits in there perfectly. Like, I don't know why that bothers me, but I feel like if you have a house, having a house with a garage so you can park your cars in, I mean, no one can mess with your cars. Not that my car has been broken into a whole lot or been hit while parked on the street a lot. But I just feel like it's like a safety thing. It's like a comfort. I got my garage, my car can go in there, and I can relax. So I don't know. That maybe that's just me. Here's another one that may sound idiotic. I don't know. You tell me. Prius drivers. Now I will tell you, I have driven cross country from California as far as to the East Coast to New York, and as far up north to Buffalo and back down around. I have not driven across the South. Like, the furthest I've driven across the South is Texas or Dallas, Northeast Texas. Um, but no matter where I have driven in the United States, Prius drivers are the worst. I don't know, is there a special type of license that these people have, that they just drive slow, they pull out of nowhere, they don't use their turn signal? Is it because it's an electric car or a hybrid or whatever it is and they can feel like they can just do whatever? But across the United States, no matter what state, no matter what city I'm in, Prius drivers are the worst. And to top it all off, several years ago, I got rear ended by who? A Prius driver. Ain't that something? You guys may think I'm kidding about those Prius drivers. Watch, pay attention, and see how they drive, and you're gonna be wanting to run them off the road, just like I yell at them in my car under my breath. The next pet peeve, it's kind of a minor one, also related to driving, is those people that don't use their turn signals. I'm guilty of this too, especially in short distances. I need to get where I'm going. But like when we're on the especially when we're on the freeway, you're in high traffic areas, you're in areas where there's no left turn signal, and those type of things, and you're not using your turn signals. We're in parking lots and it's a four-way stop. I don't know which way you're going. Like, just use your signals. Like, it'd be so much easier if people just do it. So I know, and then there's no collisions. So that's a simple one, but it's like I think people take for granted they're in the car and then using stuff like just use your signals. Another thing, also kind of minor, people who still write checks in stores. We have debit cards now. Next thing, and this could very well be number one. This is one of the things I complain about all the time. And if you want to get an idea of my personality, is this right here. So this has to do with traveling. People who crowd the aisle on an airplane, especially when we land, especially if they're sitting at the back of the plane and they're trying to hurry up and get into the aisle before, the pilot or they tell you you can get up and get your bags. Especially those people all the way at the back that's just trying to get their stuff and get to the front of the plane and trying to bypass every single row. If you're in row 35, wait your turn. And this irks me for certain. I think this irks me because I am an orderly person. I like things done with structure. So if I'm row 12, I'm gonna wait for all the other rows, all the other people to get their stuff, to get together. I'm gonna wait my turn. But if you're row 15, 16, 17, 18, y'all need to chill out. There should be no reason you should be in the aisle immediately when we land and taking off your seatbelt so you can grab your stuff out so you can try to get off as quick as possible. You're at the mid to the back of the plane. Like, where are you going? And then I know when I bring this up, sometimes people will say, well, I got what is it? Restless leg syndrome, or I need to stand up. I got to move around, that kind of stuff. Like, and the thing is, people are rude about it too. They'll get up there, take their seatbelt off, they'll open up the overhead bin, and they're just like hanging out. And I'm like, well, the door is not even open yet to the plane to get off, and you're already breathing down my neck. You got your baggage hitting in the back of my head. Like, just sit down and relax until it's your turn. That's all I'm saying. Like, this is kind of number one, but it could shift a little bit depending on some of the other ones. But that's a big one. People who crowd the aisles of an airplane, especially when you're in the back of the plane. Sit down and wait your turn. Um, Another one. This is a newer one, and I don't know why this irks me so much. But when people wear sport gear, when they wear their jerseys, their shirts to sporting events of neither team, that doesn't make sense to me. For example, Eagles are in the Super Bowl versus the Chiefs, and I'm gonna show up with a Dallas Cowboy jersey on. That doesn't make any sense. It's the Eagles and the Chiefs. I don't want to see any Detroit Lions jerseys. I don't want to see any Rams jerseys. I don't want to see 49. Like, why are you wearing that? None of those teams are playing. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't know. And that's a new one. It's kind of a funny one. I am a huge sports fan, but I don't understand why people wear that to sporting events and neither teams are playing. Just go neutral. Just go neutral. It's crazy to me. Um, Another one is kind of work related, but I'm also starting to see it a lot more in social media. Is when people use acronyms without context. There's like 15 consonants here, and I'm just supposed to know what this means without any explanation. What gives? It's kind of annoying. I'm just gonna start making up my own phrases to what they mean, and then if it works, it works. If it not, then you can't fault me for not knowing what it is. You can't just throw the acronyms out there, you know, without letting someone know what they actually mean, because some have multiple meanings and you can get the wrong meaning depending on where you are. So you always want to get clarification for your acronyms, or just don't use them at all. Especially when it comes to work, they're always throwing these acronyms, and they change every year, and it's just like, wait, I can't. I need a dictionary. I need some type of database to remember what these acronyms mean. So that one is kind of like, just tell me what it means, and then I'll kind of pick, or give me some context so I understand what you're talking about. And one of the last ones, also kind of new, it's kind of annoying and rude at the same time, is people who wear their earbuds all day long. Like, why? Like, I work with, teenagers, and they can attest that they wear their earbuds all day long. Like, do you take them out? Like, I know when I wear mine for a short amount of time, it makes my ears itch. My ears are a little wet. So I know people's ears are like just grimy and crusty. And I think it does affect your hearing a little bit, because I know when I wear mine, and I don't wear mine all the time. Actually, I rarely wear them. I still like the old school over the ears. But when I wear those ones that go actually in my ear, it kind of irritates my ear a little bit. So I'm sure there's something going on with your ears when you're wearing these. But also, it's rude, because when you're trying to talk to somebody, they got this thing sticking out there. I don't know if they're listening or not. So I think it's kind of like an etiquette thing. Like, I don't like to talk to people. Like, if you're, walking around and saying hi to people are having conversations on the phone. They have these things in their ear. Like, if you're going to be present in someone's space, or present in someone's company, or at work, you don't need to be wearing those things. You don't need to be wearing them. I just think they're rude, and your ear probably stinks. You need to get some Q-tips and clean your ears. But those are my pet peeves. Like I said, there are 10 of them, not in any particular order, but these are just some things that just get under my skin, that all I got to do is shake my head and just roll my eyes about some of these things. So let me know in the comments section what your pet peeves are, and what just really burns your britches, and things you wish people just wouldn't do. Um, but let me know, and we'll conversate down there. Thanks for stopping by and listening to my pet peeves. I know they sound silly, and a little idiotic, but you let me know what your pet peeves are, and we can talk about it in the comment section. So, with that said, have a great day, and I'll see you next time.